Donald Trump's presidency accelerates BRICS domination. The rise of BRICS, a coalition of nations that seek to counter the G7 as an influential geopolitical and economic force, has already marked a shift in the balance of power within the global system. Traditionally led by Western powers such as the United States and its allies, the world order is increasingly seeing multipolarity, where emerging economies play an important role. The presidency of Donald Trump serves to disrupt many aspects of US foreign policy, contributing to the acceleration of this shift. Though Trump did not explicitly align himself with BRICS and in fact threatened them with tariffs of 100% and even 150%, his actions, rhetoric and leadership style gave the group a significant opportunity to grow in influence. Key factors such as isolationism, America First policies, and the trade war with China and the rest of the world, one can make a compelling case that Trump's presidency will boost BRICS' path toward dominance. Trump's America First policy led to the withdrawal of the United States from several key multilateral organizations and agreements, including the Paris Climate Agreement, the Iran nuclear deal, and the Trans-Pacific Partnership. This retreat from global cooperation created a power vacuum, especially in institutions historically dominated by Western powers, such as the UN and the WTO. With the United States stepping back, BRICS member nations were able to position themselves as champions of a multipolar world and key players in global trade and cooperation. Just in early January 2025, Nigeria and Indonesia, two massive developing countries with over 200 million people each, were accepted into BRICS. Cuba and Bolivia also joined as partner nations. In particular, China took advantage of Trump's isolationist policies by positioning itself as a defender of the global trade system, expanding its economic outreach through initiatives such as the Belt and Road Initiative. These efforts, combined with the rhetorical and practical support from other BRICS members, positioned the group as an alternative power structure to the US-led international order. The US withdrawal from multilateral commitments allowed BRICS to take center stage as the new global influencers. One of the most consequential aspects of Trump's presidency was his trade war with China, which was an attempt to curb Beijing's growing economic and technological influence. While the trade war undoubtedly harmed the US economy in various ways, it also accelerated China's efforts to expand its economic clout. By imposing tariffs on Chinese goods and restricting Chinese companies from accessing American technology, Trump inadvertently pushed China to diversify its economic partnerships. China's leadership in BRICS was strengthened as it presented itself as an economic counterbalance to US power, not only through direct trade with other BRICS members, but also via investments in infrastructure projects and technology in developing countries. Remember, China makes up over 33% of global manufacturing, whereas the US makes up 15%. Furthermore, let's just take a second to look at the stats for BRICS and how dominant it is in terms of global GDP and population. Moreover, Trump's antagonism toward China helped to solidify the idea of a US-China rivalry, which many of the BRICS nations saw as an opportunity to deepen economic and political cooperation within the group. The trade war also led to growing skepticism of US global dominance, particularly in emerging markets. This skepticism became fertile ground for BRICS to rally around alternatives to US-led global financial institutions, such as the International Monetary Fund and World Bank. Trump also applied tariffs on his so-called allies, Canada and Mexico, and many other nations. They all counter-tariffed and nothing noteworthy was achieved. Well done, Donald. Erosion of trust in Western institutions. We've seen what happened recently in Ukraine and NATO. Trump's unpredictable leadership and transactional foreign policy approach, which often focused on short-term wins over long-term stability, eroded trust in the United States. Trump alienated traditional allies and created a sense of uncertainty that countries around the world were keen to address. For BRICS, this provided an opening to push for more influence in global governance. As Henry Kissinger said, it may be dangerous to be America's enemy, but to be America's friend is fatal. As of the 24th of February 2025, the new German government has said it pledges independence from the US. Former allies are waking up to America's negligence. Countries like India, Brazil, and South Africa, which had long-standing economic and political ties to the West, began to seek more independence and diversification in their foreign policies. They found in BRICS a platform that could assert their national interests while also challenging the dominance of Western-centric financial and political institutions. With trust in US leadership waning, BRICS stood out as an alternative global force for these countries. The role of Russian and Chinese diplomacy. Trump's foreign policy was often seen as erratic, particularly in his relations with Russia. While he sought closer ties with Russian President Vladimir Putin, his policies, especially those related to sanctions and military presence in Eastern Europe, maintained a consistent level of antagonism. Russia, a member of BRICS, leveraged these tensions to reinforce its role as a global leader and to strengthen its ties with China and other BRICS nations. Similarly, China's rise under Trump was propelled by a focus on economic statecraft, including expanding global markets for Chinese products and increasing its strategic outreach. The US stance on China, combined with Trump's willingness to challenge the established norms of international diplomacy, provided China with an opportunity to push for greater influence in global economic governance. As the US retreated, China and Russia strengthened their political and economic ties, bolstering the BRICS bloc's collective power. Conclusion. While Donald Trump's presidency was defined by his America First agenda, his policies and actions created a political climate that unintentionally accelerated the rise of BRICS. By retreating from multilateralism, engaging in trade wars, eroding trust in Western institutions, and neglecting global cooperation, Trump left a void in international leadership that BRICS was eager to fill. The strategic responses from China, Russia, and other BRICS members allowed the group to strengthen its collective influence, shaping the future of global governance and economics in a way that increasingly challenges US dominance. Trump's presidency will be a catalyst for BRICS to accelerate its global influence, that is clear. If you like this video, then please like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.